Hello and welcome back. This is the fourth video on an introduction to RapidMiner Studio. In the past three videos, we learned how to import data, visualize data, and create a model. In this video, we will apply the model. If you haven't watched those three videos before this one, please do so now because they are the foundation for this fourth video. Let's begin. Let's take a look at where we are in this business process cycle. See that yellow arrow? We're somewhere between modeling and evaluation. So let's get started. I have RapidMiner Studio already started up from where we last left off in video number 3. We built a decision tree, and we talked a little bit about how we could put somebody in a bucket who's either male or female based on their age and maybe last transactions. But that's kind of a tedious way of doing it by just doing it by hand. So let's try to use RapidMiner Studio to do this automatically for us. This is also called scoring the model. So let's go navigate back to our design perspective and let's save a new process. We're going to use the same one we did before, but we're going to give it a new name. Come over here to your lower left, select the process directory, right-click, store process here, and we're going to call it 03 score the model. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how we're going to achieve this. Do you remember in video number 3, we loaded in the data and we had it with churn, loyal customers, and some missing ones, question marks? Well, remember, we filtered out those question marks over here and then we built a decision tree. So why don't we try to maybe create a second branch where we only filter out and keep the missing ones, and then somehow take this model we built here and apply it to the missing ones to see if we can put them in buckets into a churn or loyal column. So how will we do that? Quite easily. Let's go ahead and select these by dragging a window and just moving them a little bit down the wire path here. And since we're going to use another filter example operator, let's go look for that now and drag it into the canvas. Okay, like so. Why don't we connect the wire here? So one thing that you need to know is that in RapidMiner, one output port can only be connected to one other nub. If I were to click on this and drag it over here and make a connection, the other one disconnects automatically. Well, is there a way that I can make a copy of this data and feed one branch into here and another branch into here? Yes. The way we do that is with the multiply operator. And RapidMiner has a handy way of making a multiplication. If I just drag this wire again over here now to the filter example, the first one, you'll see another little icon show up here. If you click on this icon, it will create a second branch by making a copy of the data. Go ahead and do that now. Aha! We see here that the multiply operator did it. The data comes in, copies are made, one flows to the top branch and the other one flows to the bottom branch. But this looks a little bit messy, so let's go use that trick we learned in the last video. Let's disconnect them and reconnect them to make it look cleaner. Hover over on this output port, right-click and disconnect. Oh, RapidMiner already put this one in the top position and left me another nub. Let's go do that. Let's click on here and drag it over here. Great. We're not there yet. Let's talk about adjusting the second filter examples to only selecting the missing churn column examples. Click on it. Navigate over to your Add Filters on the right here. Click on it. Go through the wizard like we did in the third video, but this time we're going to select Churn and we're going to select Is Missing. So we're going to filter out all the other examples that have churn or label or loyal in them and just leave the missing ones. Let's hit OK and let's wire out the results. And you see here that with RapidMiner is smart enough to know that as you're building your process and you're wiring out more result ports, it'll generate a new one automatically for you. So what we're going to do now before we hit the run, we're going to load the data, make 2 copies of it, send one that will filter out the loyal and churn and keep them to build a decision tree, and create another branch which will only filter out the missing values, and we'll port them both together over here. Let's run and let's inspect the data. Let's see if we did this right. Great. You can see here that I have 96 examples and they have nothing in the churn column. And if we go to the Statistics tab, let's take a look, make sure we have all missing ones. Yes, we have 96 missing ones and everything else looks the same. Great. And of course, we have our Decision Tree tab here, which we inspected and discussed in the last video. We have to do one more step now. Let's go back to the design perspective. Click here. Now what we need to do is we need to take the model that we build here and we need to apply it to this data. We need to somehow use an operator that will take the model and drop it onto this path so we can score or put those examples into the loyal or churn buckets. How do we do that? We use the apply model operator. So let's search for apply model. There it is. Highlight it and drag it over and drop it on the MOD wire. Okay, so what did RapidMiner do here? It automatically, when I dragged it to here, wired the MOD, which is the model, and took this data into a UNL port. What does UNL stand for? It stands for unlabeled data, right? After all, we don't know. Let's switch to the perspective result again. And let's go to our data set that has the missing ones. Let's click on the Data tab. And we don't know the labels here. These are unlabeled. So therefore, we're going to apply the model to take the unlabeled rows and label them into the loyal or churn bucket. So let's switch back here and let's see here. So this output part will now give me the labeled ones. These will label those unlabeled rows. And we also will output the model again too. So let's save this, save our work, and let's hit the run button. Congratulations, we just did some predictions. So let's take a look at this. These are the results. I have my unlabeled column here again, and now I have 3 new columns. I have a prediction column, I have a confidence for loyal, and a confidence for churn. Let's see here. In this row, the model is predicting that this candidate, who's female, 39, and pays by credit card, and has a last transaction of 177 days, will churn. It has a 79.8% confidence that it has correctly put them in that churn bucket. But what about the ones that are loyal? Let's come down here to this person. Loyal. The model says it has a 89% confidence that it is a loyal person who happens to be male, 63, and paying by credit card. Congratulations on your first prediction on applying and scoring the model. In the next video, we will talk about how you can actually validate your results to get a true perspective on how good your model is before you actually put it into production or deploy it. Because ultimately, you want to have the confidence that the model is correct and will give you the correct predictions going forward. Thank you very much for watching.